Good evening, everyone, and a very warm welcome to episode 10 of the My Career in Tech web series. I'm your host, Oluwademilade Abiru. For those of you who are new to our channel, this series connects our 3MTT talents with experienced tech professionals. Today, we are joined by Taiwo Fawamakinde, a full-time front-end engineer and also a Google Women's Techmaker Ambassador. Our moderator for today is Adebola Williams, who is a manager, brand, and storyteller at Money. Today, we will be discussing how technical talents can build a stellar tech portfolio that will help them when applying for tech jobs. Taiwo and Adebola, you are both welcome. And with no further ado, I'd like to hand over the floor to Adebola.
All right, thank you. Thank you so much, Demi. Good evening, everybody. How are you doing? I hope we had a great week, and I hope that we'll have a better weekend. My name is Adebola Williams, and I'm your moderator for today. And we have a special guest with us today to join this conversation. And we're excited to get right into it. It's such a privilege to be your moderator today. And I'm just going to give Taiwo a little bit of time to introduce herself and talk to us about her career, how she started, where she's at, and everything around building a career in tech generally.
Thank you. Hi, everyone. My name is Taiwo Famakinde, and like Demi said, I am a front-end engineer and also a Google Women Techmakers Ambassador. So I come from a non-technical background. I studied I graduated from law from the University of Lagos, and I also went to the Nigerian law school. So yeah, that's quite a bit of an unconventional background. So I found my passion for coding in my final year, where I started learning to build on Free Code Camp. Those of you that are familiar with Free Code Camp, you start by building a cat photo app, and then you just proceed to keep adding elements to the page. So from there, I just got my interest in coding spiked. So I began to apply for training programs. I got scholarships, notably Google Africa Developer Scholarship, and then also the Women Techstars Scholarship. And then from there, I proceeded to applying to hackathons, participating actively in hackathons, and then just doing anything and everything to just boost my interest in tech. And also, I am big on community, hence my ambassadorship as a Women Tech Makers Ambassador. I am a community manager for Google developer groups in Lagos, Aja. So that means I work with the Google developer groups team to organize conferences, events, boot camps for any tech community in Aja. So basically, that's just a little bit about myself.
Awesome, Taiwo. It's another pleasure to talk to a non-technical, someone that has a non-technical background in tech, because that's where I belong to. So today's topic is mastering the art of building a stellar tech portfolio. And we're just going to get right into it. So my first question to you, Taiwo, is what is a tech portfolio and what does that look like?
Okay, so a portfolio, basically, once you hear portfolio, the first thing that comes to your mind is, a website or a web page that has a curated collection of your work or your accomplishments or the projects you have built that showcases your skills, your experiences, and just what you can do, basically. So yeah, that's pretty much it. A portfolio is a curated collection of work and accomplishments that showcases your skills, your experiences, your capabilities in a technical or non-technical field. But since the field is tech, we're just going to stick to that in your technical field. It is also a powerful tool for demonstrating your competencies to potential employers or potential clients or partners. And the primary purpose of having a portfolio is just to provide tangible evidence of your skills and achievements as an individual. You are basically showing that, this is what I can do, and this is how I can do what I can do. So that's what a tech portfolio is about.
Awesome. Thank you, Taiwo. So my next question is going to be, you've defined what a portfolio is. My next question is,
Yeah.
I already have a resume. Why is a portfolio important? What is the importance of a portfolio?
Okay, well, if we want to look at it from a broader point of view, your resume actually forms a part of your portfolio. So your portfolio is just like it encompasses your brand as an individual, and your resume is a part of it. However, you still need that technical portfolio because, like I said, it demonstrates your skills. It offers a direct view of what you can do as an individual. It's showcasing your skill level and creativity. Your resume does that all right, but your portfolio is just more evidence, basically, showcasing what you can do. And then it also highlights your best work, your unique accomplishments, what makes you stand out, what makes you special. And then, of course, there's always personal branding and professional growth. Your portfolio would help you to build that personal brand, distinguishing you from others in the field. Like if I see this portfolio, I'm automatically like pin it on you that, okay, this is what your portfolio looks like. And then it plays a crucial role in job searching, and it's basically just offers a comprehensive view of your capabilities and potential as an individual.
Awesome. Thank you for showing the discrepancy between a resume and a portfolio for excellence. My next question is about newbies. I'm new in tech. I just started my career in tech. Maybe I'm like you, that just switched from being a lawyer to being an engineer. What
Okay.
will it look like for a newbie in tech?
Okay, so creating a portfolio as a newbie, it involves a series of strategic steps aiming at, like, I'm going to be saying this a lot, showcasing your skills and also your enthusiasm for the field. So you can start with self-reflection and goal setting. Before you start to build a portfolio or say you want to build a portfolio, you have to identify your interests. You determine which areas of tech excite you the most, whether it's web development, whether it's data science, design, product management. You just identify your interests and know which one resonates with you the most. And then after that, you define your goals. This is before you even start to drafts or build anything. You have to identify your interests and define your goals. You understand what you want to achieve with your portfolio. So is it to land a job? Is it to secure gigs? Or is it to just put yourself out there and show the world that, oh, this is me and this is what I can do? So after you do that, you can then begin to engage in projects. It could be personal projects, it could be contributing to open source if you're a dev like me. So for personal projects, you can just start small projects to apply what you have been learning, maybe online, self-paced on Coursera, or you are in a boot camp, or you're just, learning on your own. You can start with small projects to apply. If you are a dev, you can start with maybe building a to-do list or a calculator or an attendance sheet, just small projects really. It can be even as simple as a personal blog or a basic application, depending on your interest area. And then you can go a step further and then contribute to open source projects that offer real world experience and just something tangible to showcase your portfolio that, oh, I have contributed to this and I have done this. So after you start to engage in projects, it will be really, really good to document your learning process and your projects. If you are the type who likes to maybe just blog or write about things, you can use blog platforms like Medium or WordPress to just document what you are learning. You write about challenges you face in your project, how you overcame the challenges, and then don't also forget to include detailed project description. So for each project that you are featuring in your portfolio, you include an overview, your role, even if it's a group project or a personal project, your role if it's a group project, the technologies you use, your challenges faced, and the outcomes. And then you also, well, in this day and age, it goes without saying, social media, leveraging social media. If your niche is something like digital marketing or even product design, I mean, I don't even want to overflow the issue of social media, but yeah, social media also plays a great part in, just helping you to boost your portfolio and enhance your presence as a newbie. And then if maybe you are not a social media person, you can learn the basics of repositories that pertain to your field. If you are a dev, GitHub, Git and GitHub. If you are a designer, we have Behance, Dribble, or any other platform that helps to, showcase your skills and your contributions to projects. And then you can create your portfolio website. So creating your portfolio website is like, basically just bringing everything together and documenting is that, oh, my name is this is what I have done, these are the projects that I have worked on. And then it doesn't have to be complex. You can just start by introducing who you are, showcasing your projects. You can even also include your contact information. If you are an aspiring dev or a dev, you can use free tools to leverage free hosting platforms like GitHub, Netlify, Vercel, to host your portfolio. You can also use website builders. And if you are not a dev, WordPress is something you can learn on your own. It's pretty self-explanatory, or you just get someone to build a simple portfolio website for you. So those are the steps I believe that as a newbie would, help in building your portfolio and then enhancing your presence.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Taiwo. So I'm going to ask the next question off of your explanation or your response to the previous question. So you talked about the important things to do as a newbie, right, on your portfolio. So can you do like a walkthrough, when it comes to showcasing the projects that you contributed to or the projects that you worked on personally? What are the best use cases? What are the best ways to really display your skills and the projects in a way that whoever is going through the portfolio can really see your skills and can really understand that this is how this individual contributed to the success of this project?
Hello?
Yes, did you hear me?
Hello?
Can anyone hear me?
Okay, yes, I can hear you now. Sorry, I lost you at best case. Can you take the question again, please?
Yes, I would. Sorry about that. So I was asking, can you walk us through how a person, a tech talent, can showcase with the examples in the portfolio? So we are talking about case projects now. So I worked on project A, for example, and this is what I did. Whether it's a good project or a personal project, what are the best cases? What are the best ways to show my skills when describing the projects that I'm putting together on my portfolio?
Okay, so the best way to showcase your skills or your capabilities when you are putting your portfolio together, right? Like I said, first introduce who you are, you introduce the project, you tell us what the project is about, say, oh, this is a to-do list, which let me, so that it's not like I'm just speaking strictly to devs, because that's what I resonate with, because I'm a dev. So let me just use an example. If you're a dev and then you build it can apply to any other field, but I'm just going to use being a dev as an example. So if you are a dev, you build a to-do list. You can and you want to feature it in your portfolio, right? You introduce the project. Oh, this is a to-do list which I have built. And then you tell us the technologies that you use to build the project. Oh, I built this with HTML, CSS, JavaScript, React, what framework or library have you? And then you can go ahead and even tell us why you decided to build the project. This could be because you needed a to-do list or you needed to, just test your skills, or you were learning about it and then you also decided to practice and you also decided to practicalize it. You can include that as well. And then you can, if it's a complex project, like let's say a dashboard, you can go ahead and just after telling the story, you can say, oh, this is the problem that this project aims to solve, and then this is how I solved the problem. And then you can just walk us through how you built it. And also importantly, adding any external links like the the uh, the link to the code repository on GitHub or wherever it is you have it, so that anyone reviewing the projects, like a potential employer, for example, when they see that and then they see you have linked your GitHub repository to it, they can also see more. So it's not just the UI or the project itself that you are showcasing, you are also telling us the how you went about it, and that is also a really huge plus, and it would help when you are, showcasing each of your projects. And I think that is important is to maintain consistency. So if you are if you have 4 projects, every single project should tell us how you built it, the technologies you used, why you thought to build it, the problems it aims to solve. So yeah.
Awesome. Thank you for using the example. So it's more, what's the word? We can relate to that now. I'm sure everybody on this call can also relate to that. So my question is, I believe that there are some mistakes or there are some things that you shouldn't put on your portfolio in the bid to showcase your skills or project. Do you have any, maybe a list of things that people should avoid putting on their portfolio, whether as newbies or people that have been in tech for a while?
Okay, what you should not include in your portfolio. Am I right?
Yes.
Well, okay. So, I mean, there are basics that, it goes without saying, do not include this when you're crafting your portfolio. Number one, your home address. Please, 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 and please do not include your home address in your portfolio. It is irrelevant. It is unnecessary. I mean, your contact information is fine. It's being your email or your LinkedIn or your Twitter or, even your Instagram, if that is where you have, a lot of the work that you have done. So sensitive information, basically, do not include that in your portfolio. And also, this is quite controversial, but I would say that incomplete projects or work in progress without context. I mean, why it is okay to showcase ongoing projects, you have to ensure that these projects are substantial enough to demonstrate your skills. Provide context about the project's current state and what you have accomplished so far. I mean, it has to be an MVP or else don't even bother including it. For example, if you are building an on-screen keyboard, and then what you just have is the keyboard, and then the keys do not function. I mean, there's really no point including that in your portfolio. And also irrelevant projects that don't relate to your professional goals or the tech skills that you want to highlight or the target audience that you are trying to reach. For example, if I am a full stack dev, but I am targeting front end goals, I have front end and back end projects. Say I built a number of UIs and I built a number of really good APIs. I don't feel like it is necessary to include your back end projects in your portfolio if you are really gunning for a front end role, or if that image that you're trying to portray is that, oh, I am a front-end developer. And also unprofessional content, anything that can be perceived as, unprofessional or inappropriate, such as projects with offensive themes or controversial topics, or, anything that can be misconstrued negatively. Your portfolio should just speak strictly to your skills and your capabilities. And of course, including contact information should just be limited to your email, your LinkedIn. And if you are going to include link to your social media, maybe your IG or your Twitter, you have to be really, really sure. In fact, I won't even advise including your Twitter. But if you are going to, you have to be really, really sure that, the content that you have on social media is, tailored to your role or your skills, and it doesn't contain anything offensive that employers can just pick up on and then flag it as a as a red flag. And what else? Okay, I've mentioned sensitive information, irrelevant projects. Yeah, I think that's pretty much it.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Taiwo. So one of the things that we've learned so far is that at the beginning, before you start to create your portfolio, having a goal or a purpose as to why you are creating this portfolio is going to help you determine the things that you're in and the things that you stay clear. And the purpose of your portfolio also is pretty important. So you mentioned some tools while you're talking, just in passing. You mentioned GitHub for front-end engineers. You mentioned Dribble and Behance for designers. So are there specific tools that different tech talents can use to build their portfolio? So what I want you to do for us is to name the tool and tell us what it does and what kind of talents can use them to build their portfolio.
Well, let me be sure I get your question right. Do you mean tools you can use to build your portfolio?
Yes, yes. Tools that you can use.
Or repos that, okay, well, I guess that can also speak to repos where you showcase your project and like, oh, this is what I have done. Like we said, Behance or Dribble for designers and GitHub for devs. Well, actually, Instagram can also be a repository for designers, even digital marketers, because social media is kind of their niche. So Instagram is, I mean, Instagram cuts across all, but let's say specifically now for a field like digital marketing, Instagram is a really good, excuse me, Instagram is a really good repo to showcase your projects or what you have worked on and what you have done. I mean, it's like your office basically. That is how I see it. So we have that's Instagram for digital marketers, Git hub for devs, Dribble, Behance for designers. I can't really recall any for product managers off the top of my head, but yeah, that's pretty much it.
Awesome, awesome. So would you recommend a portfolio website or you would recommend a portfolio link? So let me explain what I'm trying to say. When you ask, for example, someone to share their portfolio with you as a developer or as an engineer, what is the most accepted format in the industry today that is easy to access and is easy to understand?
So you said a portfolio website or a portfolio what?
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. I did not just get the word.
A portfolio document. So maybe like a PDF already on Google Drive or someplace. Would you suggest that,
Okay.
or would you suggest a website link that someone can just go through and see your projects? Or would you suggest a compact size already on a Google Drive or a OneDrive?
Well, I would go for portfolio websites already posted somewhere. even if the domain name is not styleformakinde.com, even if it's Vercel or Netlify or WordPress or anywhere. This is because, especially as a dev, posting your website shows that, I mean, you really know what you are doing. And then it just adds that, I don't want to call it razzmatazz, but it just adds that spice that, oh, I have done, you know, this, I have worked on this, and this project, and then I have posted them somewhere. And then it's, easily accessible. It's easier to click on a link and see everything than, zipping your projects or making them in a compressed folder. And then you now have to start opening documents and then going through. So yeah, the website it's much more, it's more accessible, it's better, and it's more professional.
Awesome. Thank you. So second to the last question now. So to those listening to us, if you have questions on portfolio, this is a good time to drop it in the comment section so that when Dem is ready, he's going to be able to pick one or two for us. So my next question is, you said something about when you were explaining the difference between portfolio and a resume, I want, and that's why this question came to me, that what are the unique elements that you can add to your portfolio that kind of personalizes it? If all portfolios are going to be showcase of your technical skills, or these are the projects I've worked on, this is the overview of the project, these are the tools that I use to create this project. If all portfolios that recruiters or hiring managers are going to go through follow that format, what personalization can people add to it that would differentiate their portfolio just a little bit more from the other people in the system?
Well, okay. So you first started your question with, versus a CV, but now we are pitching it against the portfolio of other people in the industry. It's a very competitive industry, especially now that there is more awareness and everybody is getting to know that tech is something you can do without even necessarily having a technical degree, maybe studying computer science. Look at me, for example. So you need to have a very unique portfolio, something that would just make you stand out, unique elements that would differentiate you from the other candidates. Because there's one job role and then we have over 100 applicants. So number one that I would say, and this is personal branding. You have to develop a consistent personal brand across your portfolio. You can include a logo or a color scheme or something that just, reflects your personality and your professional style. These things might seem fickle, like is it not just color or is it not just font, but these are things that when you bring them together, they would make your portfolio stand out, make your portfolio memorable and distinctive. If everybody is having the same type of, let's even say something as small as font type, everybody's having Times New Roman, and then yours is different, like Century Gothic, it's going to stand out like, okay, this is a different portfolio. What's going on here? You get that alone is going to, just catch the eye of a prospective employer or anybody reviewing your portfolio. So having a consistent personal brand across your portfolio, your logo, your color scheme, just something that you believe it's personal, it reflects your personality. You can even consult a designer if you are having a hard time creating something that looks different from the rest. So there's that. And then one thing that will also help your portfolio to stand out is having interactive projects, interactive elements, or live demos of your project. For example, if you're a web developer, don't just come and say, oh, I built a calculator, and then you put the screenshots of the calculator. So the only thing we can see is the UI that you have built, but including a link to the actual projects, the actual application can be, much more impactful than static screenshots. So if I'm reviewing your portfolio and I see the next a section or calculator, and then I click on it, the link to the application, I can actually test it out, play around and see that, okay, this is an actual calculator and it works. And that is one thing that I have noticed with some portfolios that I have seen. They just maybe put screenshots of the pages, or they just even put the home page and then they just call it a day. That doesn't help you to stand out. Another thing that can help you stand out is testimonials and reviews. I mean, this is already on LinkedIn, where you can have your colleague or your team member or anyone that you have worked with to, give a good recommendation about what working with you was like. But you can also actually include it in your portfolio. You can either have it in your About Me section, or you can even have an entire page dedicated to testimonials and reviews. So if you have worked with clients or team projects or just individual work like freelancing gigs, you should include testimonials or reviews that highlights not only your skills or your contributions, but also your work ethic and your impact. Because soft skills are also, as important as the technical skills that you possess. So you have to ensure that these testimonials include, okay, you have the skills, yeah, but how do you apply the skills? How do you relate with others? This is not just speaking to your technical prowess, but also, how you are outside of the work. So your contributions, your work ethic, your impact, let your testimonials and reviews include this. And then, positive feedback from real people really adds credibility and trustworthiness. So that is also one thing. That is also one thing that would make your portfolio to stand out. Lastly, I mean, if you've had any awards or recognitions, you can also add that. You can also add that it's also highlights your excellence and acknowledgement of your skills by other people, any awards, recognitions, or grants. Oh, importantly, if you are adding awards or recognitions, it has to be related to your field. So don't come and maybe you won a racing competition and then you come and add it to your portfolio that you won this racing competition, or something totally unrelated to your skills and what you are trying to showcase. So yeah, that's also important. For example, now if you won a hackathon or you won a design competition or that kind of thing, you can include it in your portfolio. Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you. I'm so glad that I asked that last question, because a lot of points that you shared. So my last question to you is, how do you update your portfolio, especially for a newbie? You just started and maybe you worked on a personal project or some group and you're just a tiny part of it. And now you're growing, you're handling your own. How do you go about updating it, carrying along the recent projects that you're working on to your portfolio so that it stays up to date?
Well, it's good you asked that question, because at some point I had it in my head to mention that your portfolio doesn't, like, building your portfolio has no end. Your portfolio is a constantly evolving project. You are always going to be building on it. You are always going to update it. You are always going to have to, do away with some projects. For example, if you start with building, like when you started learning or when you started breaking into the field, if you're a dev, you start with building a calculator, a to-do list, maybe an on-screen keyboard. I'm mentioning this because this is how I started with, all these small projects. As you go on in your career with continuous learning and adaptability, as you continue to proceed in your career, you will start to build more complex things. Start with more complex things like dashboards, like a form with a login, like a notebook, that's a notepad rather, that has a list of notes, and then when you click on a list, you can see everything in the notepad. You continue to build more complex projects. So at some point, you have to start filtering and then doing away with the old ones because, you know, we are much better at that. So how you can do this, like I said, as long as you are continually learning, as long as you are continuing to adapt, your portfolio is definitely going to highlight your learning journey. It can even be the same project, but you know, you have improved on it. For
Yeah.
example, a to-do list, it can you start with just building a static to-do list that you just have checkbox, and once you do something, you check the box. You can improve on it by maybe adding a login so that you are the only one who can access it. You add a login, you can maybe also include a feature where you can upload images of, you know, if it's a shopping list, you can upload images of the things you want to buy so you don't forget, you know, that kind of thing. And then you can even start integrating with application programming interface, that's APIs. And then you, of course, as you build on these projects, as you update them, you show that, oh, in this project, I am making a call to an API to, you know, retrieve everything in my to-do list, or, you know, to make a post request to save items in my to-do list, that kind of thing. So as you proceed, you continue to, you know, update your projects, update your portfolio, showing that this is what I could do some time ago, but now I'm better and I'm better. So this is what I can do now. So you ask that. And one thing that is important as you're progressing, especially as you're updating your portfolio, is feedback. Feedback and iteration. So once you incorporate feedback, talking about the importance of feedback on your portfolio from your mentors, from industry professionals, or could even be from a peer. Doesn't really have to be a senior person. It could be someone that, you know, you guys are on the same level. You just show it to them that, oh, I just updated my portfolio. What do you think of it? I remember the very first time I updated my portfolio, I actually posted the link on my WhatsApp status. I posted the link on my WhatsApp status and I just put it out there that, oh, guys, I've updated my portfolio. Look at this. What do you think of it? And then, you know, I got a lot of constructive feedback, which further helped me to, you know, make it even better. So iterative improvements based on feedback can, you know, even also help to make your portfolio stand out, because now it's not just your perspective, it's not just streamlined to your perspective. Other fresh eyes have looked at it and give you constructive feedback, and then you update it, and then, you know, you make it better. And then, okay, one other thing, lastly, about updating, there is something called A/B testing. It's basically just experimenting with different layouts,
Yeah.
content structures, and copies, just to see, you know, which one looks best, so that you don't just do one thing and then call it a day. You have to try, you know, different styles, different designs, different colors, just
Yeah.
to showcase your work. And of course, it has to resonate with whoever your target is, whether you're just putting it out there for your personal branding or a prospective employer. So yeah, that's also helps when you're updating your portfolio.
Awesome. Awesome. Thank you so much, Taiwo. This has been a really wonderful chat. I feel like everybody that has listened to this, no matter what they do in tech, they are probably going to go home and review their portfolio and how it
That
currently.
would be really nice.
That would be mission accomplished. So
Yeah.
and the mic over to Demi now.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Tao, once again. For me, some of the points I took down when you were outlining the steps to creating a startup portfolio was the importance of outlining at first what you're building so that they know what exactly it is that they're looking at while they're looking through your portfolio, what problem you're solving, the importance of showing the process of how you got to where you are in your project, and the importance of consistency in your project, whether that's by having like your own niche sort of style that people can recognize once they see your work, or whether it's the quality, the consistency and quality of work that you're producing. So yeah, thank you very much for that. During your conversation, I also noted some questions from the audience. So I'm just going to share a few with you. I've only picked out 3. The first question I have here for you, Taiwo, is What role do technical skills like coding languages play in building a strong tech portfolio?
What role do technical skills like coding play in what?
In building a strong tech portfolio.
Well, this is a very, I mean, you are a developer. What are you doing? You write codes. What are you showing us in your portfolio? You are showing us that you can write code. So, I mean, it is like the foundation, it's the building, it's the structure, it's the roof, it's the whole thing. I mean, I won't say I won't say what role does it play. In fact, it should be what role do other elements play in conjunction with coding. I mean, coding is like the long and short of what you do. So what it plays a crucial role in building a strong tech portfolio. Number one, like I said, it's what you do. So showcase of expertise. A portfolio is a direct reflection of your technical skills. It includes projects that demonstrate your coding abilities to potential employers. So once you build a project with particular language or languages, and then you are showing us that, okay, I built this and I use this language and I use this language, and also including the link to the GitHub repository, they are just showing us that this is what I can do with this language. And then problem solving evidence. So you are showing us that you can apply, like you are demonstrating your ability to apply technical skills in impactful ways. It shows us you don't only know how to write the code, you are also telling us why you are, writing it this way and why you are choosing to solve it this way. That's also really important. And then finally, commitment to quality, high quality code, attention to detail, user-centered designs. They reflect your commitment to producing excellent work, well-documented code, responsive designs by a front-end person, thoughtful user interfaces if you are a front-end person as well. So that's the role that coding plays for your technical portfolio. And also, if okay, let me say, I'm not sure, but let me just speak to it in case that is where the question is also pointing to. Maybe choice of programming language when you are building your portfolio. I don't think um, that is any, I don't want to say argument or whatnot, because as long as you understand the language and then you can optimize it and make it scalable, make your portfolio, strong. So that is no talking point really.
Sweet. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
The second question I had was, should a tech portfolio include non-technical elements like blog posts or art related to technology?
Well, yes, definitely. Yes, that is even one of the things that would make your tech portfolio stand out. Yes, that's also one thing that will make your portfolio stand out. If you include links to blog posts or articles that you have written, as long as they are relating to your field, as long as they are not irrelevant, as long as they are not irrelevant. Yes, for example, you have written a blog post on maybe progressive web applications or vocabulary for tech vocabulary for newbies, or maybe how to use React or that kind of thing. Yes, you can definitely include it in your portfolio. It will also help to boost it. So yes, please
Amazing.
include any links to articles or blogs that you have written as long as they are relevant and within the field.
Amazing. Thank you for that. The last question I have from the audience is, when applying for a job, when applying for a tech job, how important is it to showcase personal projects as opposed to professional experience in a tech portfolio?
Say that again, please.
So when applying for a tech job, for a tech role, how important is it to showcase personal projects as opposed to professional experience in a tech portfolio?
Personal projects as against professional experience. Well, we should not be pitching these two against each other because they should complement one another. Your personal project is an evidence of your professional experience. So if I say I have an experience, I have 2 years experience writing React, I have to show it in some way. I mean, that's also one of the things that differentiates your CV from your portfolio. In my CV, I can say I have 2 years writing React, TypeScript, but my portfolio is going to show that, okay, this is what I have built with the React. So it's not a matter of putting this against the other or how important is one against the other. It's a matter of both of them should be complementing each other, really. So you have your professional experience, and then you have the projects that you're showcasing to speak for it. So that's just it.
Okay, fantastic. Thank you so much for your time today, Taiwo. And also thank you so much for your time as well, Adibola. Taiwo, you also mentioned when creating a portfolio, an important thing you can add is awards or competitions that you featured in as a good thing to add for technical talents. So with that being said, I just wanted to emphasize to our technical talents, to our fellows and our community members that as part of the 3MTT program, we also host a bunch of incentives that you can get involved in. And this is a great way for you to also stand out if you're looking for a job role. We post most of these incentives on our 3MTT Twitter page. So stay tuned to those if you wanted to get involved, because this will be a great thing to add to your portfolio. Taiwo, would you be able to share your social media platform if any of our viewers today wanted to ask you any further questions moving forward?
Yes, I am going to share that with you, my LinkedIn, so we can just connect, and I'll be happy to take any questions that anyone has.
Amazing. Taiwo, if you could say that on the webinar, that'd be great, because the listeners aren't able to see texts.
Say that again, please.
If you can say your LinkedIn name on the webinar, as opposed to
okay. Okay. My LinkedIn name is Taiwo Famakinde.
So that's TAIWOFAMAKINDE. Amazing. Taiwo and Adibola, thank you so much for your time today, and I wish you a lovely weekend ahead.
You too.
Thank you so much. Nice chatting with you guys. Have a lovely weekend.
You too.
You're the same. And thank you very much to all our viewers. Take care.
Bye, everybody.
Yeah, bye.
Amazing. Thank you guys